everyone, this is Charmaine from Fantastic Crafts. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Today I wanted to use this new stamp set from Made It. It is called Tag Builder, and I really wanted to play with this because I love that tag image. It's a nice big size, which is what I wanted. So you could really do anything with it. You can make a mini album, you can make a tag. For my card, I am going to be just making a card with it, so it'll be a tag card. So I just stamped this with VersaFine ink, the Onyx Black, and this is super easy to trim. All you have to do is corners. If you want, you could go around every single scalloped edge. I didn't feel like it needed to do that, or I needed to do that, so I just didn't. Then I used some 3 colors of distress oxide inks to color this tag. But before I did this, I wanted a very slight border around my tag. So all I did was I used some of my purple tape to just tape it down to my mat. Actually, I'm using the studio mat, let's see what it's, a Tim Holtz glass mat. So that's what I'm using. So it's super easy for the purple tape to just pick right up. But any mat would just be as easy. So it's okay if you have something else or just a desk. So the 3 colors I use are Mermaid Lagoon, and then I use Peacock Feathers and Broken China. I thought those blues would be really nice, and I wanted to go with blues for this card, blue and gray. Once I was done taping that whole tag down, all I did was I used my ink blending tool to go ahead and blend that distress oxide ink right into my tag. Now I started with the lightest color and kind of moved on, graduated to the darkest, but you can't really see a whole lot of that difference, and that's exactly what I wanted. It was a very subtle transition. So you could make this much brighter. I wanted to really go with these the blue and the gray. I just really felt like I did a lot of red for Christmas and green, so I really wanted the snowflake or the softer colors for this Christmas card. Once I was happy with the color I had, I just went ahead with this little spray bottle and sprayed just a little bit of water just to get that oxidizing look on this card or on this tag. And I just wiped it off with the cloth that I had. Then I removed this purple tape, and you can see how gorgeous that little white corner or that border looks. I absolutely love this look, so I always try to do this, and the purple tape works so well for this. So once I was done with that and I made sure that my tag was dry, I know I wanted to heat emboss the little hole that the tag comes with. I think it's adorable that this includes that image. So I went ahead with my Versamark ink and then went with the Mermaid Tails color from Brutus Monroe in their heat emboss powder. Embossing powder. I don't know why I couldn't think of that name. Embossing powder. I went ahead with that and I just heat embossed that image. But you do want to make sure when you do that your tag is completely dry. So not only did I take the heat tool to that, but I also went with my little powder tool to make sure this is completely dry. I am so in love with this embossing powder. I think it's such a gorgeous blue. And it's not only blue, but it also has these green undertones to it. And I thought it would be perfect for this tag card that I'm creating. So I heat embossed that, and not only did I heat emboss that, but I wanted to also emboss the sentiment "Enjoy." So I did the same exact thing with the Versamark ink, and I went ahead and stamped that right in the middle of my tag, and then heat embossed it, or put the powder on, the embossing powder, and then heat embossed it. As you can see, this creates a gorgeous not only color but also texture. I am so loving this embossing powder. I am obsessed with it at the moment. I knew I wanted multiple layers to this card, so I wanted a backing for this tag. And as I mentioned before, I really wanted to stick with cool colors for this card. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Cool colors for this card. So I just took some art glitter glue and I just put that right onto a gray gray cardstock, and then I just trimmed it out. And that's how simple it is to create another second layer on your card. On this tag, I wanted to write "Enjoy the Christmas season." So I took this Wonder stamp set from May Made It, and it's a larger stamp set, and I love the sentiments and the way the fonts are created. So I simply used the VersaFine Onyx Black ink pad and just stamped that sentiment Christmas season onto a gray cardstock, and then I took the sentiment that says "the," and I also stamped that. I trimmed those sentiments and I popped it up with some foam adhesive and put it right onto, actually underneath where it says "enjoy." So now the sentiment, or the full sentiment on this card, is "Enjoy this Christmas," or "the Christmas season." I thought this would be a cute little sentiment to say on a card. As you can see on that little tag, I did try to stamp it directly onto my tag and it didn't really go well. So this is why I am stamping it on a separate piece of cardstock and just going ahead with some foam tape and putting it onto the tag just like that. And no one even knows that that happened. So it's kind of a great way to kind of fix your mistake or my mistake. So it's kind of wonderful that I was able to do that. So I just have this little tiny foam squares, and that's what I used to pop this up. I then took a top folding A2 size card. Again, I went with that blue. And then I just took that Versamark ink once again, and I wanted a very muted look on, or a background. So all I did was I took that tag builder stamp set and the little hole that covers the tag part where the hole goes, I just used that to actually decorate the background, and it's a very muted look because I used the Versamark watermark. That's kind of like a watermark look, so it's very muted, and I thought it would be add another layer without adding another layer to this card. Once my background was completed, all I did was I punched a little hole onto the top part of my tag, and then I just put a little ribbon right on top to kind of look like a actual tag. I cut the ends of that ribbon and just put some art glitter glue just to make sure that the ends of that little ribbon does not fray. You could use fray check. I didn't have that, so I always use my handy dandy art glitter glue. Then I just simply glued that whole tag onto my card base that I had created earlier, and that pretty much completes the card. All we have left is to do some embellishments, and to embellish this card, which adds another layer to this card, all I did was I added some Nouveau drops. This is a blue Nouveau drop, and I also added a few gems. Now you don't have to do this. You could add sequins, you don't have to add anything at all, but I just decided I needed that other extra layer for this card. I really hope you guys enjoyed this card. This is the last of the layered up from me for this month's challenge. So I really hope you enjoyed this video and the card, and if you did, please make sure to thumbs up this video, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.